Continually seeking out new possibilities and asking the difficult questions that need to be asked, ENTPs seek to view a problem or idea from all possible angles and perspectives before giving any particular weight or value to any one view.
You wish. I'm here for the EMP beats. I've developed an update.
Update? No, it worked perfectly.
How many times do I have to teach you? Just because something works doesn't mean that it cannot be improved.
They are energetic, analytical, quick-thinking, and love little more than debate, playing devil's advocate and brainstorming new and interesting ideas and creative solutions to problems.
This doesn't bother you?
That you were wrong? I try to work through the pain.
I was not wrong. Everything I said was true. It fit. It was elegant.
So reality was wrong.
Reality is almost always wrong.
Like all the videos in this series, I aim to get you inside your character's head in order to assist you in portraying fictional characters that feel real, identifiable, and organic by outlining each of the 16 Jungian personality archetypes. However, this will only give you an outline, and a personality type does not a character make. Hopefully by the end of this video you will better understand how the ENTP processes and values information and how this affects their behavior, decision-making, and communication style, so you can then add motivations, backstory, interests, relationships, and likely personality quirks to result in a more organically complete character your audience will connect with. I'll give you the outline, and then you can fill it in. If your ENTP character had a favorite saying, it would probably be, "There is nothing so good it can't be made better," "All that has happened before will happen again," or "Where there is a will, there is a way." ENTPs see the world as an expanse of possibilities. They naturally explore these potential futures by logically extrapolating the end results of those possibilities and trying to see if they can spot any flaws or inconsistencies in the patterns. This results in a highly curious individual with a strong investigative nature.
And I saw little Tiffany. I'm thinking, 8-year-old white girl, middle of the ghetto, bunch of monsters, this time of night with quantum physics books. She about to start some shit, Zed. She's about 8 years old. Those books are way too advanced for her. If you ask me, I say she's up to something.
Is this toothbrush approved by the American Dental Association?
Well, I don't know. Oh, it doesn't say, hon.
Can you please find out?
People talk about phantom limbs, so I've always wondered, do eunuchs have a phantom cock?
Since they have so much practice and experience deducing if a potential solution will work out or not, they are often able to choose and bring about a path favorable to their goals.
It's far more likely that he does not love me and never has.
He loves you, Jane. Do not give up. Go to our aunt and uncle's in London. Let it be known you are there, and I am sure he will come to you.
Well, my brother has his sword, and I have my mind. And a mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone.
Yeah, I know. Court records are sealed. You were 16. It was a stupid mistake. But your old gym teacher has a big mouth. You should write a thank you note.
I should thank him.
Well, I needed somebody around here with street smarts. Okay? Knows when they're being conned, knows how to con. I should sue you. Pretty sure you can't sue somebody for wrongful hiring.
ENTP problem solving is highly focused on their end goal. However, their proclivity to explore new and interesting possibilities means that their end goal can move or change rapidly as new information and ideas present themselves. This can cause the ENTP to abandon uncompleted projects as new ones take priority in their minds, causing them to show a pattern of starting things only to disengage, and this can be very frustrating to those around them. ENTPs also favor the ends justify the means strategy when it comes to meeting their goals. Since they have a rather large blind spot for how other people experience the world.
She's my cousin.
And your cousin doesn't like the diagnosis. I wouldn't either. Brain tumor. She's gonna die. Boring.
and have difficulty identifying a valid universal moral code that does not bend to circumstance, this can cause them to make highly questionable and damaging decisions in the pursuit of their goals.
I saw you working that mojo on Miss Beekman. Maybe I should go tell somebody
But
about
that's not even... That is so mean.
Blackmail is such an ugly word.
I didn't say blackmail.
Yeah, but I'm about to blackmail you, so I thought I'd bring it up.
I flayed him living, along with his wife and brother. Made his son watch.
And?
The new Lord Kerwin paid his taxes.
I'd said to Foreman, nice try. It was a great guess, but sorry, not this time. What do you think he'd be doing right now?
I think he'd be going home not feeling like a piece of crap.
Exactly.
You want him to feel like a piece of crap?
No, I don't want him going home.
It takes time and experience for an ENTP to realize that their actions have consequences that they are still responsible for, even if those consequences were unintentional. Since ENTPs cannot understand how others experience the world, they are incapable of learning from others' mistakes and must learn from their own. In the meantime, ENTPs are generally seen as an agent of chaos, and the young or immature ENTP is prone to refusing to accept responsibility for the consequences of their actions.
There are 15 people in this house. You're the only one who has to make trouble.
I'm the only one getting dumped on.
You're the only one acting up. Now, get upstairs.
I am upstairs, dummy.
Besides, nobody's getting hurt. That guy was already up there when I got here.
You idiots. You lied to me.
We didn't lie about anything. You, on the other hand, accused us of molesting our son.
Perfect. Couldn't we get off my screw-ups and focus on theirs? Theirs is bigger.
ENTPs show affection by freely criticizing those they care about and pointing out the errors in the other's thinking and actions.
That's all it is. All major theme parks had delays. When they opened Disneyland in 1956, nothing worked.
Yeah, but John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists.
I can't wait anymore. It's just, things are different now. He has a soul.
I'm sure that'll be a real comfort when he soulfully attacks you again.
You sure it's a good idea to take your ex on a mission?
It's not the parrot.
Acidosis can lead to nerve problems, neurological complications.
How many kids were in the class?
20.
How many are homesick?
None, but...
None. But you figured that 5-year-olds are more serious about bird hygiene than their teacher.
ENTPs favor truth and pragmaticism over all else. So in their minds, it is a mark of disrespect to not point out the truth as they see it.
Advise you on what?
How to get what I want.
The Iron Throne. Perhaps you should try wanting something else.
Bernadette is not going anywhere because you're not going anywhere. Drink.
You're right. Cancer's only in my liver, lungs, prostate, and brain. All things I can live without.
Sensible, good-humored.
Handsome, conveniently rich.
You know perfectly well I do not...
If I win, he'll let me go.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
However, in their zeal to get to the point, they will often favor bluntness over tact, generally making the ENTP come across as harsh and arrogant, and thus their help is rarely taken for the good-natured gesture that it is.
And why is it that none of the other officers saw either of these two events?
Well, sir, some of the other officers are a little soggy around the midsection. I guess that's why they weren't able to keep up.
Edwards, if you were half the man I am...
What the hell are you talking about? I am half the man that you are.
People do not die of cold.
But she may well perish with the shame of having such a mother.
However, ENTPs are keenly aware of this dichotomy as they are sensitive to the feelings of those around them and genuinely do not wish to hurt those feelings. This creates a continual conflict within the ENTP as they struggle with expressing the truth as they see it and dealing with the inevitable emotional fallout of that expression. It is at the core of the ENTP belief system that only when the flawed reality is burned to the ground can a new and better reality grow up in its place. And ENTPs desperately want that better reality for those they care for. This can cause them to essentially be right in all of the wrong ways, which is to say, Yes, they are technically accurate, but the way they communicate that information alienates everyone around them.
He was in the garage again playing with the glue gun.
Didn't we talk about that?
Did I burn down the joint? I don't think so. I was making ornaments out of fish hooks.
My new fish hooks?
I can make ornaments out of the old ones with dry worm guts stuck on them.
Allergy?
The kid's got abdominal pain. Maybe carcinoid?
No, but then you wouldn't get the...
Foreman, if you're gonna list all the things it's not, it might be quicker to do it alphabetically.
Let's see now. Absidia. Excellent. It doesn't account for any of the symptoms.
You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
They will often attempt to avoid these pitfalls by consciously adjusting their presented personality based on the group or individuals they find themselves surrounded by. This is not done from a need to fit in, but rather as a defense mechanism from a lifetime of this repeated pattern of trying to help create a better future for those they care for by using the truth as a flamethrower, only to have those same people recoil in pain from the inevitable harshness and burns.
I wonder who first discovered the power of poetry in driving away love.
I thought that poetry was the food of love.
Of a fine, stout love, it may. But if it is only a vague inclination, I'm convinced one poor sonnet will kill it stone dead.
So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing. Even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
A lifetime of this repeated pattern can cause even the healthiest of ENTPs to develop a severe streak of cynicism and a need in general to keep people at arm's length.
You know what? I'm going. I'd rather be worm food than look at your pathetic face.
Then go. I'm not stopping you.
I bet you wouldn't. I bet you'd let a girl go off to her doom all by herself.
Not just any girl. You're special.
In young or immature ENTPs who have not yet resolved this inner conflict, the result is usually a highly charismatic liar. Because of this tendency to put on a mask and their natural talent for seeing possible futures, ENTPs can easily become master manipulators who work only to forward their own goals and agendas at the expense of others' well-being.
Couldn't you be disbarred for that?
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe if I'd had the patty
You
melt.
had a guy break into her house and photograph her address book.
No, Wrigley. I happened to let a man know that I was interested in her address book. That's not criminal. I also happened to let him know that I was taking her out to dinner. That's not a crime either. No, I don't see myself as culpable in any sense. You, on the other hand, could be disbarred for developing and examining these photos of her address book, but that doesn't really concern me.
This brings us to the biggest insecurity of the ENTP. As expertly as the ENTP puts on a mask to protect themselves from scorn, that mask also works as a barrier from ever allowing others to truly emotionally connect with and trust the ENTP. For all their talent at seeing others' possible futures, their habit of alienating those around them, pushing them away, and showing only a mask to the outside world leaves their own futures looking rather bleak.
Believe marriage should be driven by thoughts of money. Only the deepest love will persuade me into matrimony, which is why I will end up an old maid.
This can cause the ENTP to freeze in fear in the face of their own perceived lack of possibilities, thus further limiting their ability to grow into new relationships and new stages of life. Healthy ENTPs do learn how to advise those they care about in a more focused and constructive way. These mature ENTPs see the likely paths of those around them and manage to offer specific warnings or advice without burning the entire relationship to the ground.
So a woman can't express her interest in sex without it being some professional power play?
No. If you look the way you do, and you say what you said, you have to be aware of the effect that it's going to have on men.
Men should grow up.
Yeah, and dogs should stop licking themselves. It's not going to happen.
Are you stupid or something?
Allow me to answer that question with a firing.
She's kidding. We talked about the employee-employer vocabulary no-nos. That was number 5.
Please, Papa, don't let her go.
Lily will never be easy until she's exposed herself in some public place or other, and we can never expect her to do it with so little inconvenience as under the present circumstances.
If you, dear father, do not take the trouble to check her, she will be fixed forever as the silliest and most determined flirt who ever made her family ridiculous. And Kitty will follow, as she always does.
In turn, those individuals helped by the ENTP seek to keep the ENTP around, thus allowing possibilities for the ENTP's own future and finally quieting their incessant insecurities. Ultimately, the thing the ENTP wants the most and has the most difficulty in obtaining is simply to be wanted.
Well, you thought you were all special. Miss Sunnydale 2003. And the minute you found out you weren't, you handed the crown to Amanda without a moment's pause. You gave her your power.
The power wasn't mine.
They'll never know how tough it is, Donnie, to be the one who isn't chosen. But I know. I see more than anybody realizes because nobody's watching me. I saw you last night. I see you working here today. You're not special. You're extraordinary.
Maybe that's your power.
What?
Seeing, knowing.
Maybe it is.
ENTPs favor an informative style of communication. They are natural chatterboxes and can go on for hours about anything that happens to interest them. ENTPs are skilled communicators and intuitively believe that anyone can learn anything so long as the underlying logic of the thing is explained and presented in the best possible way. This can make them highly effective at motivating others once they have a willing audience. ENTPs have a knack for getting to the heart of the matter and cutting out the crap, so to speak, so that just about anyone can understand even complex concepts.
Look, it's classic battle strategy to throw one's opponent off his game. He's just trying to provoke you, to taunt you, to goad you into some mishap of some sort.
The na-na-na-na-na-na approach to battle.
Yes, Sander, once more, you've managed to boil a complex thought down to its simplest possible form.
What's your point? My point is, you should call your son.
What if he won't talk to me?
At least you'll know. Then you could stop worrying about it. And you won't have to be afraid anymore.
This talent, however, is generally a result of at least some maturity on the ENTP's part, as their default communication style is defined by a ping-pongy tendency to jump around from new topic to new topic as ideas come to them.
John, the kind of control you're attempting is, it's not possible. Listen, if there's one thing the history of evolution has taught us, it's that life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and it crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but, well, there it is. There it is.
What do you think?
What are they, ladles?
Berry spoons.
Spoons.
Berry spoons. Everybody has spoons.
And nobody needs berry spoons.
Well, everybody eats berries.
Hey, Pollyanna.
Hey, everybody! Folks!
Where'd you see him in
Hey,
the
y'all.
Martha Stewart catalog, right next to the silver napkin rings?
I need your attention for a minute.
Stadium seat ass warmers? Dear God, Wrigley, how many
Ladies and
maybe
gentlemen,
personal
boys and
possessions
girls.
do we have to amass?
Why so?
To make someone love you for all eternity?
Whoa, whoa, back up. Who said anything about eternity? A man can only talk self-tanning lotion for so long before his head explodes.
Remote driving system activated.
Wait! Which side of the road is it?
For God's sake, just drive.
Okay, calm down.
Have another drink.
Gladly, but this I can't do. Believe me, no one is more shocked than I am. I hope it passes. What will I do in my spare time?
They will often answer a question with another question, and the ENTP speech pattern will show a high frequency of tangents in general.
Anyone think this differential diagnosis might be compromised because we don't have an accurate family history?
I took an accurate family history.
You didn't even take an accurate family.
His father's not his father.
Why would you say that?
30% of all dads out there don't realize they're raising someone else's kid.
From what I've read, false paternity is more like 10%.
That's what our moms would like us to believe.
Who cares? If he got it from his parents, they'd both be dead by now. Can we get on with the differential diagnosis?
$50 says I'm right.
I'll take your money.
Hit a nerve? Don't worry, Foreman. I'm sure the guy who tucked you in at night was your daddy.
Make it 100.
The rules of the moral universe don't apply. God is dead, all things are possible. I saw an ad in the paper, no fault divorce. 2-week divorce without a lawyer. Made me sick to my stomach. No fault divorce. Good God. Talk about your oxymoron. What's the world coming to?
It is a mark of ENTP maturity when they are able to consistently circle back to their point. Eventually. This tendency, combined with their naturally short attention span, can cause them to pass over the finer details of an idea and thus to overvalue the larger picture of an idea before it is fully explored or before the finer details have a chance to invalidate the larger picture. This usually manifests as a tendency to jump to conclusions, but can also cause the ENTP to put too much faith into credible bullshit before moving on to the next intellectually juicy idea, which can cause others to dismiss the ENTP as naive and unintelligent. This conflict can be amplified even more when the ENTP's ideas are too big picture for more by-the-book types to fully grasp how the ENTP's ideas would play out in the real world. ENTPs have a habit of not working out the details of a thing before moving on to the next shiny new thing, and particularly when those ideas fly in the face of social convention, this obvious and gaping chasm between the idea and the practical reality can cause others to regard the ENTP as intentionally malicious.
Somewhere at a party, in his coffee, up his nose, in his ear, this kid had some.
So you're not happy with your ecstasy theory?
He said he used it twice.
People lie.
Yeah, if you're gonna lie, it's...
You know what? I'm not interested.
Not curious?
No. Because I'm well adjusted.
Right.
Others often perceive ENTPs as being rebellious and blasphemous when they question sacred or established concepts. ENTPs value reason and logic far above emotional perspectives and have trouble understanding how any emotional justification, including their own, should be taken into account when investigating a thing.
How can you treat someone without meeting him?
It's easy if you don't give a crap about him. That's a good thing. If emotions made you act rationally, well, they wouldn't be called emotions, right? That's why we have this nice division of labor. You hold his hand, I get him better.
They will usually display an inherent distaste for traditions, social norms, and conformity in general. Any obstacle that gets in the way of them finding out more and more information about a thing will be seen as inherently evil and destructive. And this often results in the ENTP confronting authorities and inviting all manner of conflict into their lives with their irreverence.
How would you say he died, then?
Choked on his pigeon pie.
So you would blame the bakers?
Or the pigeons, just leave me out of it.
The ENTP's endless questioning, however, stems from a curiosity about other possibilities and whether or not these unexplored avenues might offer a better future. ENTPs love debate and generally excel at it because it offers the opportunity to examine an idea from multiple perspectives. For them, what others consider aggressive debate is actually enthusiastic conversation, which is to say, the purpose of a debate is to win, but the purpose of a conversation is to learn.
But you don't think so.
How do you know?
Why would you be here?
Why did you ask me?
Can't I be curious?
About what?
Do you ever answer questions?
To you?
ENTPs love a good conversation that puts no rules on how a thing can be examined. This examination, and thus the debate itself, is generally the ENTP's end goal, and they are not necessarily interested in winning or proving a given point. They debate because they love to debate, and the more rousing and animated the debate, the more fun it is for them. This can easily be misinterpreted as aggression by others. However, ENTPs tend to be some of the most inherently inclusive individuals as they actively seek out the opinions and thoughts of others, including and especially from those whose perspectives and life experiences differ from their own.
And he left me to rot at the wall all the same.
Gren's father left him too, outside a farmhouse when he was 3. Pip was caught stealing a wheel of cheese his little sister hadn't eaten in 3 days. He was given a choice, his right hand or the wall. I've been asking the Lord Commander about them. Fascinating stories.
While often coming across as impossibly arrogant, the ENTP will change their mind about a thing if presented with sufficient rational argument about the thing, and that change will be swift and total.
No offense, but aren't you a little old to be afraid?
You can be a little old for a lot of things. You're never too old to be afraid.
That's true.
You're too proud, Mr. Darcy. And would you consider pride a fault or a virtue?
That I couldn't say.
Because we're doing our best to find a fault in you.
Maybe it's that I find it hard to forgive the follies and vices of others, or their offences against me. My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
Oh dear, I cannot tease you about that.
This means that ENTPs do have a knack for innovation, often combining seemingly incompatible or unrelated fields to solve a problem, and can change goals and strategies rapidly as new information presents itself.
Wait a minute. Yes, there should have been a right turn back there somewhere.
Look above you.
There should be a large bundle of cable and pipes all heading in the same
direction. Follow that.
They get bored easily, and their need for constant new stimulus can bring a lot of conflict into their lives, particularly when around other types who value stability. When the ENTP purposefully manufactures some new drama just to mix things up and motivate themselves.
All right, Kahlua, Bailey's, and whipped cream. I give you a blowjob. Why do you make me make that?
Kelly. Take that over to Buck, please, and tell him it's from Booth. Little foreplay.
Remind me what good will come of this?
I don't take the shits, I just disturb them.
Oh, hold up! What you want?
Cheers. To your health. Got any sample bags on you?
I don't believe you. Gonna run DNA tests?
Your son is deathly ill. I know, it's terrible. The fact is, if I don't keep busy with trivial things like this, I'm afraid I might start to cry.
You're an ass.
Yeah? You want to double the bet?
Strike it again in the same spot.
You're recording?
For research purposes.
Cheapskate.
Hey, I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. 1, 2, 10.
ENTPs are most comfortable working in chaos and generally perform best when under pressure. Combined with their naturally short attention span and constant need for new and interesting stimuli, this can result in an unusually well-rounded individual who, while they previously seemed to fail at everything, suddenly shows a shocking amount of competence, applicable creativity, and productivity just when it matters most.
I have a gift for you. Give that to your saddler. He'll provide the rest. You must shape the horse to the rider. Start with a yearling and teach it to respond to the reins and to the boy's voice.
You put a tourniquet on. Ian?
ENTP humor is often silly in a stoic, over-the-top sort of way. Since they don't value social convention, they have no issue with poking fun at it and reveling in the absurdity.
Freeze! LAPD, freeze! All yours, Edwards. Freeze me! Stop!
Tell me.
10,000 a year, and he owns half of Derbyshire.
The miserable half.
Angel. He's Drusilla's hire.
Man, that guy got major neck in his day.
Their humor will generally have a detached feel to it, as the ENTP won't infuse any personal emotion into their humor, instead preferring to playfully cut with well-timed truths.
I always thought you were a stunted fool. Perhaps I was wrong.
Half wrong?
Where's my burger?
Yeah, man, I'm starving. Cow me.
The fire's not cooperating. It's comforting to know that I lack the culinary finesse of a caveman.
You talk as a rule while dancing?
No. No, I prefer to be unsociable and taciturn. Makes it all so much more enjoyable, don't you think?
A favorite comedic tool of the ENTP is to comment on a situation by combining two contradictory ideas into one narrative.
You married?
Occasionally. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for a future ex-Mrs. Malcolm.
Of the White Walkers.
Tell me you're not thinking of taking the black.
And go celibate? The whores would go begging from dawn to Casterly Rock. No, I just want to stand on top of the wall and piss off the edge of the world.
Or to playfully take something mundane and push it to its most ridiculous, if albeit logical, conclusion.
Dr. Cuddy, great outfit.
What are you doing back here? Patient?
No, hooker. Went to my office instead of my home.
Why don't you and I do something together tonight? Just the two of us.
Really?
Yeah. We can comfort each other.
Well, would lap dancing enter into that scenario at all? Because I find that very comforting.
What do you want, Bron? Gold? Women? Golden women?
It'd just be raining black people in New York.
You can expect your ENTP's humor to be witty, dry, crude, cutting, wholly lacking in tact and civility, and delivered in the ENTP's characteristic ping-pongy way.
I can't be trusted. I have very poor taste in ribbons.
Only a man truly confident of himself would admit to that.
No, it's true. And buckles. When it comes to buckles, I'm lost.
Dear, oh dear. You must be the shame of the regiment.
What laughing stock?
What do your superiors do with you?
What are you after, Miles?
Oh, I'm a lot like you. Just looking for an ass to mouth.
You drag me out of bed for a ride? What am I, mass transportation?
That's what a lot of the guys say, but it's just locker room talk. I wouldn't pay any mind.
Oh, great. So now I'm your taxi and your punching bag.
I like to think of you more as my witless foil, but have it your way.
It's early. He's had the disease for maybe 2 weeks.
McDonald criteria requires 6 months to make a definitive diagnosis.
Oh, who cares about McPherson? I hear he tortured kittens. McDonald. Oh, McDonald. Wonderful doctor. Love kittens.
I've never said this, but don't swallow.
ENTP villains will be motivated by a perceived abandonment or betrayal. This could also be a group betrayal, for instance, an individual born into a marginalized segment of society who were never made to feel wanted or valued or secure in their own future.
The flayed man is on our banners.
My banners, not yours. You're not a Bolton, you're a Snow.
In response, the ENTP villain will make it their goal to take away their enemy's future. They are likely to play a long game to make the target complacent and feel comfortable, only to knife them in the back at just the right moment to inflict maximum permanent damage.
Well, then I don't get it. If you don't want to be with her forever, then what's the point?
The point is, I want her to want me, desperately, so I can break up with her and subject her to the same hell she's been putting me through.
Oh, I don't know, Xander. Intent has to be pure with love spells.
Right. I intend revenge, pure as the driven snow. Now,
the ENTP villain will want to see their target suffer, and a quick strike will not be enough to satisfy them. This is a villain who will daydream about taking all their target holds dear, burning it, showing the corpses to their target, and then dancing in the childlike joy that the target's pain brings them. Sadism is a crucial aspect of the ENTP villain, as well as a preference for fighting dirty.
You should have seen your face. I don't know what to do. I was so scared. Soft spot, remember?
Leave a book in her general direction again, and you will learn in the worst of ways that I have some hard spots, too. That came out wrong. Or did it?
Reek, I told you to watch.
I did not kill Joffrey, but I wish that I had. Watching your vicious bastard die gave me more relief than 1,000 lying whores.
You can expect your ENTP villain to extend the suffering of their targets in ways that are seemingly nonsensical to their primary goal, as they will be tacking onto their plans as they go as new and interesting possibilities make themselves known to the ENTP. Expect your ENTP villain to be patient, cunning, charming, and exceptionally dark. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have found this video valuable. As many of you have noticed, this series took a bit of a hiatus as I was dealing with some things outside my realm of influence.
That is one big pile of shit.
But I will continue to post this series as I am able to complete the videos. I'm choosing which type to do next based on number of votes, so if there is a personality type you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. After we get through all 16 archetypes, I'll be posting a few videos on how to determine which personality type would work best for your story, based on the type of story you are telling and what you need that particular character to do within the story. So hit the subscribe button if that's something you would like to see. Until then, thank you again and have a great day.